Oi, oi, Salaries. On today's wrestling news, we're going to talk about the top salaries of Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and other WWE executives.
Is Roderick Strong on his way out of NXT?
A new Cruiserweight champion was crowned on last night's NXT.
And WWE's women's champions share a lovely moment on last night's NXT. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
All right, let's start by talking about the money, the cash money, the green, whatever name you want to. Benjamin's, I'm running out of terms.
Skrilla.
Yeah, there we go, that'll do. A new proxy statement released by WWE in compliance with SEC regulations has revealed how much money WWE's top executives and Shane McMahon earned in 2020. And there's some interesting figures here. This comes directly from said proxy statement. Vince McMahon, the man at the top of the pile, earned a healthy total of $3.9 million last year. That's a base salary of $1.4 million. 1.64 million in stock awards, 854,000 in incentives, and around 20,000 in other compensations. It's actually down a little bit on last year, but Vince McMahon's still taking home a very tidy paycheck indeed. Triple H up next, 2.38 million he made last year. Not bad, not bad. That includes around 900,000 from his performers contract. Stephanie McMahon, 2.2 million. Again, she has performers contract. That's around 775,000. She was on TV, what, twice? Something like that? That's not bad.
I don't complain about that. That's a good thing.
Good work if you can get it, for sure. And Shane McMahon, it was revealed as part of this, he's not an executive in WWE, but he has a performers contract paying a minimum of 820 grand, which is not bad for fanning around on Raw Underground, bumping fists with Omos and stuff like that. But the big earner here, the man with the Scrooge McDuck-esque vault of money here is Nick Khan, who came home with a whopping $13 million last year. This guy is absolutely rolling it. He is, of course, WWE's president and chief revenue officer. He had a lovely little $5 million signing on bonus because he joined WWE last year, and he earned around $6.8 million in stock awards. That's not bad. His base salary is around $500,000. So, moderately impressive numbers here. Not quite on par with what we're paid here at WhatCulture, but not bad at all, right? It's a mid-level salary for these guys who probably aren't filing for like benefits or anything anytime soon.
Yeah, for that kind of money, you can fart in my dinner tonight. I'm incredibly jealous, obviously, of all this. I realise these are two very different things. People's salaries don't necessarily equate to the money that WWE has, but hey, maybe a cut of that could have gone to all the wrestlers you inexplicably needlessly fired last year. We're going over old ground. Has Vince got enough to retire yet? That's my only question.
I think Vince has had enough to retire for about 30 years. But yeah, he's raking it in still.
He's the one shouting in bloody Byron Saxton's ear that making Nia Jax look stupid is better than getting a win over the tag team champions. So. Yeah,
we're going to book a feud around falling over now. Cool. But yeah, man, it's money. I don't really have much more to say. They earn a lot of money. They're very rich. There we go.
Yeah, but as of course, as paid shields of both WWE and AEW, our salaries, as you said, just slightly below that threshold. Right, let's talk about last night's NXT. Some eventful moments on that show we will get into. One of which could see Roderick Strong seemingly leave NXT. He showed up flanked by his other half last night and seemingly handed his resignation to William Regal, who said, despite the fact he had some understatement of the year issues with Undisputed Era, he's welcome back in NXT whenever he wants. You assume, Andy, this means Roderick Strong could be heading to the main roster. Please be SmackDown, please be SmackDown, please be SmackDown.
Yeah, that would probably be the most, one of those brands is obviously the most obvious landing point. Obviously the most obvious. That's a hell of a sentence for Roderick Strong. But a thought kind of came into my head earlier this morning when I was writing this article for the website. What if they have Roderick Strong be like the lead guy, like the veteran, at the top of the pile on the NXT Evolve brand, which is supposedly coming along. That'd be a cool role for him, right? He's a ring general, very experienced. He wrestled for Evolve in the past across many, many years. That might be a cool role for him as well, but yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where he lands. He is kind of like the spare part in this whole Undisputed storyline because Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole had the big feud. Bobby Fish is, I don't know, doing some QAnon stuff or injuries and whatever. He's a weird guy. But yeah, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole had the big singles feud. Roddy was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to lose to Cameron Grimes this week and fart around a bit. So hoping for good things in his future. He's a very, very good professional wrestler. And I wonder if him and Marina Shafir on camera will maybe become more of a permanent thing because she's not really done anything as of late either. She was in the Women's Dusty Classic, but nothing beyond that. So best of luck to him in the future. Didn't see this coming, but it does make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't screw him up. He's so talented, Vince. And I know he's not 7 foot tall and wide, but he's mint. So just try. How about having a go with an NXT call-up for once? Yeah,
absolutely. Give him a shot. But you know, if he's 7 foot wide, I would be quite worried about his health. Let's move over to the Cruiserweight division. Right, so there was a title change last night. Just after, 5 days after Santos Escobar became the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight champion, merging the belts with Jordan Devlin, something he'd wanted to do for holding the interim championship for like a year, basically. He lost the belt to Kushida last night, the silly sausage. Escobar came out. He did an open challenge. You kind of deserve to lose if you're doing an open challenge, mate. You never know who's going to come out. But it was Kushida who lost to Pete Dunne, a takeover, stand and deliver. It looked like, for a while, Escobar was going to put him away. He had him set up for, why am I looking for this move name? Why can't I remember? The Phantom Driver. There we go. He had him set up, but Kushida countered. They had a series of pin exchanges, number of 2 counts. Kushida got the better of him in that, walked away with the belt. It's Kushida's first championship in WWE. Backstage, he was accosted by Jordan Devlin, who said, hey, I'm leaving for a while, but I'll be coming back to get that belt soon enough. Watch your back, Kushida. Yeah, man, here we go. It's an interesting turn of events. Considering Kushida lost a takeover, you could make the argument that he kind of failed upwards here, but it's an open challenge. Theoretically, me or you could have showed, well, maybe not me, I'm not a cruiserweight at the moment, let me tell you, lockdown's been hard, but anyone could have showed up and fought him there, so it's a way to get around those kind of concerns. Good for Kushida, he's not often been booked the most consistently in WWE, so hopefully this heralds the beginning of a stronger run.
Yeah, exactly. It's about damn time that boy had a championship, and as much as I'm gutted that my boy Santos Escobar had to lose it, I've really enjoyed what he's done with Legado del Fantasma. I think he's one of those people a lot of people have sort of slept on. Yes, he's had a lot of bollocks, interference matches, but when they've just been allowed to wrestle with someone, with people like Jake Atlas or Swerve or whoever it may be, I thought he smashed it out of the park. I really quite enjoyed his match with Devlin at TakeOver last week. Enjoyed the match with Kushida. Excited to see where this goes next for both guys, not just Kushida, but also for Santos Escobar, because I think he's really showcased his talents. And congratulations to Kushida, like I say, about bloody damn time. And speaking of champions, there was a lovely moment on last night's NXT. We had new NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez cutting a promo celebrating defeating Io Shirai when, of all people, Rhea Ripley's music hit. Of course, these two have had their issues. Rhea Ripley was effectively gone from NXT after that wild brawl, the Falls Count Anywhere match that she had with Raquel Gonzalez. But she is now, of course, the new Raw Women's Champion. She came down to the ring, had a bit of a moment. You thought, what's going to happen here with Raquel Gonzalez? And they smiled, clinked belts, and had a hug. That wasn't it, though. Bianca Belair also showed up with her newly won SmackDown Women's Championship. Same thing again here. Ooh, bit of a stare down. You're all right. Clink belts, hug, pose, and a lovely shot behind them of them in their early days in NXT. And now look at them. I thought this was a bit of a humble brag about, our women's division is pretty damn good in WWE across the board. But a lovely moment for these three performers who had an incredible week to share.
Yeah, just nice this, wasn't it? All three coming through the ranks in NXT, all three winning the big belt on the very same week. Just a nice story, nice situation. A moment of light in what has been a difficult time in pro wrestling since all the pandemic nonsense kicked in. So yeah, this was cool. Also, shout outs to Raquel Gonzalez for telling Frankie Monet she was going to shove her dog up her arse, which is a hell of an introduction for the former Taya Valkyrie. But yeah, this was very nice indeed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, look at this amazing women's division we've got. Oh, and Taya Valkyrie's now here as well. Insane.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The stats talent they've got. So yeah, all good stuff there. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from Jake, who says, what wrestler from any company who seems to be close to being retired from the ring would you like to see win a championship one last time? For Jake, it would be Mickie James to somehow get the gold one more time. Good shout, that, Jake.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Because I think the internet reaction would be hilarious. Goldberg. Imagine if Goldberg was the one who ended Roman Reigns' run with the Universal Championship, if he beat him in a spear and a jackhammer. I don't earnestly want that, but I think the reaction to it would be worth the price of admission alone, for sure.
At this moment, I'd take him just having a match, but if we could get away for one, Wade Barrett, my best friend Stu Bennett, to win a world title, preferably the WWE Championship, because you should have given it to him before. Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. But let us know your comments on this in the comment section below, because I'd love to know some of your suggestions. Second question today comes from the Social Get Down Network, who says, now we've passed what feels like the end of the WWE calendar, i.e. WrestleMania, who is your dark horse pick to be a main roster world champion in the new year? Mine are Damian Priest and Io Shirai.
I could definitely see them giving Mandy Rose some kind of title reign coming off this slip. I don't know if that'd be a good idea, the banana skin person as a world champion, but I can see them persisting with this, and Vince might think it's an incredible push. She falls over, pal. But really, honestly, I could actually see Jinder Mahal being WWE champion again, right? Because when he comes back to TV, if Drew gets it back from Bobby Lashley, which I think he's going to do at Backlash, WrestleMania, whatever it's called, I could see Jinder taking it away from Drew and doing the free MB storyline and holding it for a month before McIntyre gets it back. I don't know how wise an idea that would be, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I think Jinder might be a good shout, Riddle feels less of a dark horse. It feels like they're so hot on Riddle right now that he may well, like you said with Kushida, kind of lose upwards into a world title picture potentially. Maybe if he transitions to SmackDown, who knows? I don't know how that would get there. Real dark horse. I'm just going to indulge myself here. Ian Kerrigan, baby, to the moon. He's not going to win it in NXT. Bollocks. Let's have him win the world title on the main roster. If he just buys his way into the title, basically, with all the money he made in GameStop. Congratulations once again for that. Final question today comes from Daniel Navarro, who says, lads, which episode of the news did you guys record where you swore in Geordie for half the episode? Howie! Peas Pudding League. I can't remember. You'll have to go remember for that. Man. It's probably been taken down, let's be honest. Also, proper question from Daniel here, Andy. Do you think that AEW will be able to keep the ratings boost that they'll probably get tonight from airing unopposed?
I think that their base level, the amount that they can be expected to get every week, will increase and will stay relatively steady. But will it be as high as maybe it could have been a few months ago? Will it see a steady rise or anything like that? AEW's numbers haven't been good recently coming out of the last pay-per-view. They've been disappointing across the board. Now, bit of perspective to that, the Wednesday Night Wars, they only lost in the 18 to 49 demographic once. They only lost in overall viewership 10 times across something like 83 weeks. So, worst is a relative term, and they regularly finish inside the top 10, 15 on cable shows for the night. So they're still doing okay, but not as okay as you would hope. So to kind of come back to your answer, I think they will keep a higher base level, but my optimism for growth is nowhere near as high as it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think that's a completely fair assessment. Fascinating to see how both NXT and AEW does. NXT, of course, winning the Wednesday Night War, so they moved on to win another night of the week. I'm joking, comment section. Calm down. Turn off the caps lock.
They won't take that.
I think if AEW's number, sorry, I have no idea what NXT are going to do this week, but if AEW's number doesn't start at the bare minimum with an 8, they will consider that a real disappointment. Will they hit Lil Wayne? Will they hit a Millie? Maybe not this week, but yeah, intrigued to see what they do and how they respond and what number they do. But we will, of course, keep you posted with that as things develop. And the number we'll get for NXT will be tonight. AEW will be tomorrow, so Friday we'll update you on everything, probably. Let's move on to today's, and finally, random one this, but just made me smile a little bit. From Liv Morgan, who tweeted yesterday during WrestleMania, "My cow gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby bull, and I named him Mania." Mania, good boy. Thoughts, Andy?
It's a cow, isn't it?
Anyway.
Milk and steaks, that, burgers, that's moo.
Yeah, let's move on. Let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comments. I don't want to milk it anymore. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, got the NXT review later, got the AEW preview after that. And also you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for today. Hey, Google Docs, get your act together. What were you doing this morning? Just work. Just work, please. Thank you, Bill Gates. Bill Gates? No. Let's end this video.
Follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilmore. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you moon.
Jesus Christ.